guys have purchased this building. So now not only in one location, but you got two locations to start serving customers. How does it feel to be getting this and getting started in this location?
It's wonderful. My dad and I, we've been talking about it for years. I graduated from college back in 23 for Virginia Tech, and even before then, we had been talking about making a move to Bassett. I was born and raised just right up Oak Level here, and so was he. We both cut our teeth right up the road here, and it's a little bittersweet being back home. It's nice. It's very nice to be back home.
Well, I got to say, I'm west of Bassett, cut my teeth all my life, graduated from Bassett High School. But let's back up a little bit. Let's just go backwards a few years. Did you ever think you would take up the family business when your dad, I think he left Norris and jumped into this head first?
Yes, sir.
And you seen Grandma and Grandpa, I think the whole family kind of come together. How did you feel about seeing all of that and then being offered, hey, son, come on down here and help us out?
Yeah, back in, I was, I think, middle school when they first opened the Martinsville location back in 2012. And he came to me and he said, about 2 or 3 years afterwards, he asked if this is really what I want to do. And, it kind of took you by surprise when you tell a bunch of middle school and high schoolers that you're buddies with, I'm going to be a funeral director when I'm older. They look at you like you're crazy.
Yeah, of course.
But the more and more I came into the business, the more and more I fell in love with it. I love the community aspect. I love, helping people.
Sure.
That's the biggest thing is helping people. And it's nobody understands the process of loss until you have loss.
Right.
And my mom's mom passed away in March of 24, and I've even found more of a love for it since then. And I've been in the business for about this will be my 7th year. I started out in maintenance and then kind of worked my way inside, as the years went on, and I constantly fall in love with my job more and more and more, and the community that we have here.
Right. Well, that's got to make you feel pretty good, though. Help me just. I've got a son working for me as well.
Absolutely.
I mean, your daddy and I are about the same age.
Yeah.
But your dad also was giving you the option. I'm going to help you go whichever way you want to go.
Absolutely.
When did you know, okay, I'm going to take on the family business? Was it anything else that you ever thought about possibly doing besides this?
Well, I love building things with my hands.
Okay, good.
When I was a kid, I loved Legos, still do to this day. I'm a big time Lego freak, but one of the things that I love to do was build things with my hands. And until I was about 14 or 15, when he came and talked to me, that was the goal. That was the goal to go. I wanted to go to Virginia Tech for architectural, kind of schooling, and it ended up making a little career change, and I'm glad I did. So I'm very glad I did.
Well, but the key word there, he said he loves to build. You probably got a little bit of that out of your blood building over there, didn't you? Doing a little work, a little construction.
A little bit, especially here. I wasn't involved with much of the construction over there. I had my hands on a few things. Dad's got a picture of me, probably 13, 14 years old, standing a register stand, and my hands are about as red and purple as they could have gotten, from that stain when I was staying the register stand. But, I really, when we moved into this place here, that's really when my hands got to working hard, working in the chapel here, doing the painting. We built the stage up at the front, a lot of moving furniture and stuff that was left here. And, but I really, really got my teeth cut here with the building.
Right. But again, going back to liking to be hands-on, not only does it save the company a little bit of money, but it gives you that opportunity to keep honing another skill while saving a little money.
Yes, sir. There's you look good, you feel good. I love wearing a suit, but nothing beats throwing on a pair of jeans and some Carhartt boots and a dirty hoodie that you don't mind if it gets ripped and torn. I'm big time outdoors guy. I love being outside, enjoying nature and just getting dirty and it's always good to dress up. You look good, you feel good, like I said a minute ago, but nothing beats getting your hands dirty from time to time.
So again, now you transition, you get down here, your dad started you out from the bottom and made you work your way up. But
sure
he didn't cut you a lot of slack then. He made you earn it, so to speak.
I'm very glad he did. I'm very glad he did, because...
Great job, Tony.
Yeah, thank you, Dad. I sure appreciate it.
I did the same thing.
Well, he's a brilliant man.
He is.
He amazes me every day. Him and I have conversations multiple times a day about business strategies, what to do moving forward, advice. But But back in the beginning, when he came to me, he said, I'm going to start you at the bottom. You're going to cut grass, set monuments. You know, you're going to be my maintenance guy. And I worked under the head maintenance man at the time. You know, I wasn't even in charge of the maintenance when I started. And then I moved into kind of doing some transportation stuff of the deceased, and you know, kept working up, started working some funerals, got a couple suits, went to school, came home, and while I was in college, you know, I still mowed grass.
Right.
You know, I was that maintenance guy, you know, maintenance crew for about 4 years. And when I graduated from tech and went into mortuary school, I was blessed enough I was able to do mortuary school completely online. I did.
I bet that was difficult, though.
It was different. It was
Yeah, it
different.
had to be
I'm a
different.
very hands-on
Yeah,
guy
because
to
you just
learn.
said you like to build.
Yep, I'm very hands-on when it comes to learning, but it was nice. It was nice. It was nice because you know, nothing beats home. Nothing beats
This is
home.
true.
Nothing beats Henry County, being with my family and stuff like that. But no, I'm beyond blessed of how my dad had me come up. You know, one, the humbling of it. You know, I never wanted people to look at me. You know, he had this business handed to him, and also I wanted to learn. I wanted to learn about the maintenance. I wanted to learn about, you know, doing transportation and removals. I wanted to learn how to operate a funeral from the other side of it, not just being an attendant and a funeral director. You know, learn both sides of it, learn every aspect of the business, and it helps me manage better today.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, when I'm talking to my maintenance guys about things I need to be done, I know kind of, hey, it's 12 degrees outside today. I was in your shoes one day. I know what it's like, man. Let's work it out so you're not outside all day, kind of thing. You know.
Yeah.
It was nice, and I give all props to my dad. He was brilliant when he thought of that. So.
Well, and another thing too, going back to what you said now, with Dad beginning to turn a little bit more over to you,
Yep.
I think that is, again, the only way to learn is by going through it.
And that's something that he harps constantly. Is,
Yeah, it's our generation. That's what we do.
I know it. He tells me all the time. He says, "Listen, you're gonna make mistakes."
Sure.
He said the biggest thing is learn from them.
Yeah.
And you know, I limiting them is the best I can, and you know, I can never get him enough of his advice. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like gold. It's like gold and diamonds to me. It's you know, if you ask him, you know, he lives at our funeral home in Martinsville. And he's got an apartment downstairs, and then that's his residence. And you know, he hears my feet clanking down them steps 3 or 4 times a day. You know, just either whether it's to chat, get advice, or you know, just see my dad. You know, it's nice, and I'm blessed. I'm a very blessed young man.
And that's a good thing. That is
Absolutely.
that kind of a bond is hard to break when you get it right.
It is, and Dad and I are tight.
That's a good thing though.
Yes, sir.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. To be able to go and seek advice from him, and him, like you said, I think he started the same way he started you though.
Absolutely.
He started with the grass and stuff.
Exactly. He was with, you know, he was with Collins, you know, before, you know, McKee and you know, they were bought out, but that's what he did. He helped Mrs. Collins, you know, out in the front, you know, with the flower bed and the grass and all that. And he cut his teeth in the funeral business doing the same way I did, starting out in the maintenance.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
And you know, we say this all the time, and this is where I don't know if training can get you this. It's compassion. When someone is in your office, it can be the worst day of their life.
Absolutely.
And you know, that's where people can see the difference between, oh, I just want to make this funeral, make some money, versus, hey, we got to take care of this family. And I've seen it done wrong. I really have.
Absolutely.
I really have.
And then, like I said, you know, my grandmother passed back in Ohio, and it back in March of not last year, 24. And it opened my eyes a lot. The funeral home staff, they were phenomenal. But you see it from a different aspect, a different region of the United States. You know, I know a lot of people joke about the Yankees up north.
Yeah,
of
course.
But it's very different. It's
Sure.
very different, you know, from, you know, an Ohio funeral home, you know, that's an old house to, you know, our funeral home's an old country club and an old schoolhouse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's very different, but it's really opened my eyes. And sitting with a family, you know, the thing that I can offer a family is caring.
Mm-hmm.
I tell people all the time, if you call the funeral home and try to get me, I failed you. I want you to call my personal phone number.
I got you.
If you don't call my personal cell phone number and you call the funeral home, I failed you in one way or another. I want you to call my cell phone. I am there for my families 24/7. I joke all the time too. My cell phone sounds like an old rotary phone on the wall. Sounds like it's about to fall off my nightstand at night. My phone rings 24/7. I always answer it. I always answer it. And I have that care for my families, you know, because it's the hardest day of their lives, like you said.
It is. And I got to say, I get the phone thing. What we do for a living, my phone does ring a lot, and I can only imagine yours is even more than mine. But boy, you're talking about making you crazy. That's it rings all the time. But again, it doesn't make you crazy when you're passionate about what you're doing it for.
That's what I'm saying. You know, some people look at it like, oh my goodness, that phone probably drives you nuts, but it throws me into my element.
Yeah, that's good.
And it just, I love caring for the families that come across. Even if they're not using us as a funeral home, I'm always a resource. I'm always a resource. I've learned so much in the last 7 years. You know, in the funeral business, it's unbelievable. I was just sitting talking to Dad last night. I said, I've learned things in the last 7 years that I never imagined I would. And, you know, I've told people in the past, even if you don't use our funeral home, you are more than welcome to keep my number and use me as a resource. I am here to help, and I love doing it. I love doing it.
And it obviously shows as well, and that's what it takes in time of need. Guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We want to thank you for tuning in, but we're going to come back and talk a little bit more about Wright Funeral Services, now serving in 2 locations when we come back.
My name is Jimmy Wright, and I am the manager here at Wright Funeral Service here in Martinsville, Virginia. Over the course of the last 13 years, we've had the pleasure of serving numerous families, and I thank each and every one of you from the bottom of our hearts. Here at Wright Funeral Service, we are deeply committed to taking care of your family in the hardest of times, all while keeping costs affordable. We are always here for you, 24 hours a day, even if it's 3 in the morning. You can reach us at 276-632-2206.
At Fairhaven Memorial Park, we know how heavy loss can feel. That's why we're committed to making final arrangements affordable, dignified, and handled with care, located in Spencer, Virginia. We offer burial, cremation, and beautiful memorial option setting. With full perpetual care you can trust, let us guide you with compassion, respect, and personal attention. Call Fairhaven Memorial Park today at 2769-571194.
Not many people know, but the best way to protect your investment of a new set of tires is with an alignment. Here at Harbor, we can do that. Did you know at Harbor's Garage and Towing that we are a Michelin dealer? Not only just for the Henry County and Martinsville area, but any surrounding counties as well. Come on by, get you a set of Michelins today. Come see us for all your automotive needs at our newest location, 6010 Greensboro Road, Ridgeway, Virginia, or give us a call at 276-632-2580.
Think well, and our tagline for our business is coffee with craftsmanship, and I think that's kind of it for me, is that it's one of those things where, it's not just throwing stuff in a cup. To me, it's just an exciting thing, and something that, it seems to continually change and evolve as well, always reinventing itself and new things. So I think that's a big part of it, and then just loving the taste of it ourselves, I think helps, that community is a big part for us, is drawing people in, having them sit down, drink, conversations over coffee is just is a big thing. So we offer all the different types of coffee drinks, from brewed coffee to espresso to macchiatos, lattes, mochas. So right now our hours, we open at 6:45 to 10:30, and then we have a break and open back up at 2:30 to 6. Those hours are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Thursday we are closed, and Saturday currently we're open 9 to 1.
Thanks for staying with us here on Table Talk again. Chad Hall, we're here at we're in beautiful Bassett, but we're not at the country club anymore. We're at Wright's Funeral Service, and I got one of the Wrights joining me here, and James, talk a little bit about, again, this facility is just kind of getting going well. I hear a lot of people say the cheapest, the most affordable. I hear that a lot,
Absolutely.
But what is going to be the best way for a guy like me or someone watching to come in and say, hey, I want to do my pre-care needs, or is this the place for me?
Absolutely. So to start, with us just getting started here for the first year or so, we're doing special pricing. You know, if you want to call, come in. Ruth and my grandmother are here every day. They can talk to you about our special pricing here at our Bassett location. But pre-needs, you know, Ruth is doing about 50% of our pre-needs here, 50% of our Martinsville location, and it's going well. It's going phenomenally. We just transferred over to a new pre-need company. We've had some seminars here as well as in Martinsville for the community, veterans. You know, it's going phenomenal. It's going great, and I'm loving it. I'm loving this new company. And one of the great things about pre-need is let's just use a round number. Let's say you came in today and made a $5,000 pre-need with us. Paid $5,000 a day. In 20 years, if that same service is $10,000, you don't pay a dime more.
Right.
You prepay it. You don't pay a dime more unless you want more services. It's a great way to lock in a price and save your family some stress. And it's like you were saying at the beginning in earlier on. It's the family's one of the hardest days of their lives.
Sure.
Coming in and making arrangements. And even if you just come in, you don't want to prepay and you just want to pre-plan, it's a great thing to do, and it eliminates a lot of the hardness of an arrangement conference when the at-need death occurs.
Right.
So the pre-arrangement pre-need is phenomenal. You know, you can pre-arrange, pre-fund it, whatever's easiest for you. I think pre-needs are a phenomenal thing. I think some people are scared to do them because it's planning for their death.
Yeah.
But at the end of
Well,
the
it's always hard to discuss that.
it is. But you know, and you hear people joke all the time. There's two things that are certain: death and taxes.
Death and taxes.
They're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere, and it's the smart thing to do, and
Right.
that's my opinion. And you know, it's if you're interested in just stopping by and you have pre-arrangements somewhere else, and you just want to see what we're about, you know, all pre-needs are transferable. We accept pre-needs from any funeral home, regardless. You know, if you have a pre-need at any of the other funeral homes around the area, or even let's say you lived in California for 10 years and you had pre-arrangements there, you can bring your pre-need to us and we will accept it with open arms, put it in our filing cabinet, and we'll keep it safe until the day you pass. It's just, a pre-need gives that little bit more peace of mind to yourself, that you know your wishes are in order, as well as your family, that they have a little bit less to worry about when the time does come.
You know, this just hit me. Let's let everybody know the address here.
Absolutely.
We're talking about, we think everybody knows where the golf course is. They may not.
Yeah, well, it's 1230, quite easy house number to remember. Oak Level Road. If you're coming from Collinsville and the Cloverleaf down by Bassett Forks, you're coming up the hill towards Stanleytown, right at the top of the hill, take a right on Oak Level, and it's your first right. And you'll see some signs as you're pulling in. It's a big long driveway, but just come out and say hello. We're my grandmother and Ruth are. Somebody's always here Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. And if you can't make it during those hours, give us a call. You know, I like I said, I cut my teeth right up the road from here. I still live less than a mile away. I'd be happy to come and just show you what it's all about, even if it's 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 in the morning. Don't matter to me.
Well, you know, let's talk a little bit more about pricing.
Okay?
I'm a hands-on guy. I'm like you. It's hard for me to pay a sheetrock guy to hang sheetrock because I know how to do it.
Absolutely.
But when you get to a certain point in life, you got to move on. What's the easiest? Pay somebody or take 3 or 4 days out of work?
Oh, absolutely.
You got to
Get
start
yourself.
juggling that. But a lot of people, let's just say this, sometimes you get what you pay for.
Absolutely.
Everybody's talking about cheap. I don't like the word cheap. I like the
either.
word affordable or
and inexpensive.
inexpensive is
That's
a better word.
Absolutely.
Kind of let's talk about that. You know, Mike can go out here and buy a $2,500 funeral, but that's exactly what you've got.
Exactly. And our pricing is very competitive. You know, and we tell everybody, you know, if you find a better price than us and you really want to use us, we'll beat it. You know, that's just how we are. And I think we're priced very competitively to our competitors in the Henry County area. But the thing about it is when you come to us, you get 100% of our attention. 100%. Our funeral directors are at myself and 4 or 5 of I think we have 6 total directors, including Ruth 7. Ruth is strictly pre-need, but we give you our personal phone number, and you can reach us all day, all hours of the day, and that's what we strive for. Everybody at our funeral home, every director, every secretary, our grief coordinator, everybody, you know, we always have our phones on us. If you need us, you call us. And I always tell people, listen, if you call me and I don't answer, I will call you back immediately. One of two things. I'm either on the phone with somebody else or I'm in the shower. I'm either in the shower, and more times than not, I will jump out of the shower, answer the phone, and get right back in. It's just, it's our families come first.
Sure.
Our families come first, and a lot of people look at the funeral business as a business, and it's not. It's not a funeral. It is a business at the end of the day, but it's taking care of your community. It's taking care of your community. Dad and I are in Kiwanis. We do a lot for the community there. We're a very community-centered family. I love this community. I know some people look at Henry County and they see the drugs, they see the crime rate and all this, that, and the other, but it's a wonderful community. I mean,
But that's
people are
everywhere.
exactly.
We're not that bad.
Yeah, we're not.
We're average.
And
I hate to say we're even average,
Well,
but
and
it's not as bad as everybody thinks. it is.
Absolutely. And it's, I tell people all the time, I lived in Ohio for some years of my life. And one of the things I love about the South, you can walk into a gas station, a corner store, the Dodge store, don't matter. Somebody's going to hold the door for you.
Yeah, that's true.
Somebody's going to say, hey, thank you, man. How are you doing today?
Yep.
Give you a little head nod.
Yeah.
It's you go up north,
They look straight down and don't do anything.
they
Keep walking.
Keep on walking.
Exactly.
And I love the South. I love this community, and it makes me want to give back to the community even more. And in that, take care of families.
I look at this as more of a ministry. I mean, I know you're not going to call yourself a pastor or whatever, but this is a very pastoral moment.
Absolutely.
When you got your wife, your husband, or a child, or mom or dad that has passed away. Now you're got to sit over here and be a grievance counselor to speak. No, I'm not
Exactly.
saying you are.
Well,
but-
you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
It's,
it's a tough time.
I was talking earlier about my dad. It's unbelievable the things he's taught me. And one of the very first things he said, you are going to be looked at in this community as the same as a pastor. He said,
Absolutely.
if you're out in the community cutting up, acting a fool, driving down the road, and you get into road rage or something, somebody is going to recognize you.
Yep.
And he said, everybody that comes in these doors is family. He said, you're going to be recognized and you got to take care of people. He said, if you care and you take care of people, he said, everything else comes easy. And it's I hate to say it's simple, but it's when you care, it is.
It makes sense though.
When you truly care in the bottom of your heart for the people that come in your funeral home or even your business, it doesn't even just have to be a funeral home.
Yeah.
The people that come in and sit in front of me or just come in to ask a simple question, if they're treated like family and you show that you care and you truly care, everything else is simple.
But doesn't that make you feel good though, James, to know you're in your right lane? I mean,
Absolutely.
you're a young man. I mean, you're in the right lane and whatever, I love what you say, that God has really blessed you.
Yes.
Imagine 20, 30 years from now, being in your right lane, continuing building what the good Lord has given you.
Well, I'm telling you, my grandmother Betty Wright, my dad Tony Wright, my uncle Tom Hensley, they're the three owners of the business, and they both have a power with prayer. My mom always jokes my grandma Betty is going to be taking an escalator to heaven instead of stairs. She's just salt.
Cherry in the fire.
Yeah, I mean, she's salt to the earth.
Right.
She's flat out
Good
salt to the
people,
earth.
they really are.
And I'm beyond blessed to have those people in my life and the prayer warriors I have in my corner. And we talked a little bit earlier about me wanting love and build my hands, architecture, and I truly believe that God, from his mighty power as well as the prayer warriors I have in my corner and my dad, grandma, and Uncle Tom, I think that this was my path. I think that the train track came at a Y, and when I was 14 or 15 years old, when Dad came to me, and I think the conductor in God just switched that train track and said, "This is your path,"
Right.
and I'm more blessed than I could ever be.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. But again, if it's not your path, it would have done showed itself by now.
I think so.
Oh, yeah,
I think
yes.
so.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's very easy to tell that you're very passionate about
Yeah.
the business and you're more concerned about the guy across from the table than you are your paycheck.
Absolutely.
And people can read through that, James. You know that.
Yep.
They can read right through that. And when you can see somebody's really sincere, and I think that leads to a whole lot of the success here at Wrights
Absolutely.
is the sincerity of, I got to take care of you now, whether you can afford it or not. I mean,
Well,
you're now walking into my my world, so to speak.
Exactly, and then you just threw the affordability of it. You know, a lot of people don't plan for death.
Nobody.
You know, we talked.
I hate to say nobody, but what 80-90% don't.
I mean, it's very high, and the thing about it is not a lot of people plan for it. So people, when they come to us, they're not financially ready,
Sure.
and we work with their families. I tell everybody, you know, the first question is, what do I do about money? And I tell all my directors, I tell everybody that speaks to a family, tell them, let the finances be on a back burner right now. Let's take care of you. Let's take care of your loved one, and let's chat a little bit before we even worry about finances. Like I said earlier, it is a business.
Sure.
But let's take care of you. Let's take care of your family. Let's talk a little bit. I understand we did, you know, mama, daddy, brother, sister, son, daughter didn't plan for this.
Yeah.
But let's talk. Let's talk and let's get on the same page, see what we can do about some finances, and we'll go from there. See what your wishes are, what your family's wishes are, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. And that's important. That's very important. Well, look, we've got about a minute left here of the program. Again, I wanted to give you an opportunity just to invite everybody by, give them that phone number, and hopefully they can take care of some pre-needs. Before you get in this situation we're kind of discussing now, it's always great to stay ahead of the wave instead of let it come down on you. And these guys are here ready to work with you, even on the worst day of your life. And I think he would even tell you planning ahead is a way to dodge that.
Absolutely. My name is James Wright. I go by Jimmy. I can be reached at any time. My cell phone number is 276-732-7327. I'm always here. I'm always here. I know that death can be a surprise. It doesn't matter what time of the day it is. My phone always rings. We're here at 1230 Oak Level Road right now. You're more than welcome to come by 8 to 4. If you come by after, just give me a call. I live right up the road. I'd be happy to meet you here, show you around, show you what it's all about. No obligation to do any prearrangements, anything. Just stop by and say hello, see what we're all about here at Wright Funeral Service. Thank you.
Well, I want to thank you for all your support at BTW, and I want to apologize. You told me to call you Jimmy earlier, but I've been saying James.
Hey, that's okay. That's okay. That's what Mom and Daddy called me when I was in trouble. But yeah, please call me
You're
Jimmy.
in no trouble.
We're good, good. We're good. I appreciate you, Chad.
Thank you so much. I want to thank you as well for tuning in. If you've got any questions on this, please give them a call at either the Martinsville or here in Bassett, or call the studio. We'll make sure you get in touch with who you need. Again, Chad Hall, thanks for tuning in. There's more great local programming coming up next.
Welcome to Martinsville Family Dentistry, your local trusted dental experts.
I've been a patient at Martinsville Family Dentistry for over 25 years, and I wouldn't go anywhere else. They're great here. The people are friendly, very helpful. They'll do anything for you. Dr. Milk's taken care of me for decades, and the people here are so friendly and helpful, and I just really suggest you come here.
This is Martinsville Family Dentistry. Smile, you're in good hands.
Life is full of starts and stops. That's why at Rogers Heating and Cooling, we like to keep things moving. Could be a weak air conditioning unit in need of a tune-up, or a clog in your plumbing. Could be a furnace on the outs, or a generator for when the lights go out. Whatever it is, Rogers has a solution for you. And with unbeatable customer service and a variety of financing options, there's no better choice out there to keep your house moving. Rogers Heating and Cooling, the name you know, the service you trust.
It's time for your next step.
Not only will this program prepare you for your job, but it'll prepare you to actually go further than what you think you'll be able to do.
The teachers are passionate. They really want to help you learn, and I'm excited to be able to move forward in my career.
I could not think of anything else I wanted to do.
Contact an advisor today to register for one of the many programs available at Patrick and Henry Community College. Future you will thank you.
Hey, good morning, folks, and Happy New Year to you. I'm just so glad to be back with you on a new year, and I hope it's going to be a good one for you.